When we're working with hyperbolas, what we want to remember is that they're a little bit different. Instead of looking for the larger value, we're going to look at whatever comes first, and this time y comes first in our equation. So that's going to tell us that we're dealing with something vertical. So because y comes first, we're dealing with a vertical hyperbola. So now let's figure out what the center is. Remember that we're going to look at the x and the y. Don't get confused. Start with the x. The x has a 5. So we're going to basically use the opposite of that -5 and write a +5 right here for the center. For the y, it has y plus 4, so we're going to put a -4 down there for the center. So we know that we're going to need a squared and b squared. Remember that for a hyperbola, the a squared isn't the larger number, it's going to be the first denominator. So in this case, a squared is 144. And if we take a square root, that means that a is 12. Remember also that we're dealing with a vertical hyperbola. So that means that vertical is y. That means that what's going to change? That means our y value is going to change when we compare it with the center. So when we write our vertex, we're going to keep the x value the same, but we're going to add on that 12 to change the y value. And we're going to do the same thing here. So we have 5 and -4 plus 12, and then 5 and then -4 minus 12. So that's going to give us 2 points, 5, 8, and also 5, -16. And we want to remember that what we're dealing with is something that's different from an ellipse. So when we find the focus, the formula is going to be slightly different. It's going to look similar, but it's slightly different. So let's go ahead and find the focus of our hyperbola now. So this time we're using c squared equals a squared plus b squared for our hyperbola. When we put the information in, we're trying to find c squared. So let's just go ahead and write down c squared. We know a squared was the first denominator, and we got that was 144. So a squared is 144. B squared, we know, is that second denominator. So that's going to be 81. So we write b squared is 81. So let's work this out. So c squared is now 225. And if we take a square root on both sides, we're going to end up with that c is equal to 15. So how do we use that? Remember that we're dealing with a vertical hyperbola. So vertical means that the y is going to change. So again, vertical means that the y value is going to change for our center. So if we change only that -4 with that c value of 15, here's what it looks like. So we're going to say 5 comma -4 plus that c value, which again is 15. And we're also going to say 5 comma -4 minus 15. And if we work everything out, this is what we have. We have 5 comma positive 11 when we do -4 plus 15. And then we have 5 comma -19 when we do -4 minus 15. So that means that our two foci are going to end up being 5, 11 and 5 comma -19.